shoes. How we made it downtown to the welfare office. Just me, just you. Took a long time trying to get what we got now, baby. Don't you go away and give it up to no other man. I couldn't understand. Don't let the green grass fool.
Don't let it, baby.
No, baby, don't let it.
Stop looking at the Joneses. We don't do the Joneses here, baby. We do our own thing.
It's gonna be hard trying to start our lives all over.
You ain't got it in you, and neither do I.
Hey, mama, you got the kind of loving that I need. Yeah. And if you ever see me down in the dumps, that I'll stop and check my heart. Ooh, baby. I don't think I'll live to see a brand new day. I wanna give you to me, say no, don't let the green grass fool you. No, don't let it change your mind. Oh, it must be sweeter. Way out outside.
Over there, it might look nice.
Fellas play a little bit.
Welcome to the Sunday morning classics. As time goes by, so does music. Today, we're diving into the legendary R.I.P. Mr. Q himself, Quincy Jones.
Don't let the green grass fool you, baby. Don't you never, ever let it change your mind.
I miss you, baby.
You know, I got a neighbor a couple days that that buddy who's got a Cadillac.
He's got a Cadillac, baby.
You know, I always drive a
bucket.
But baby, he can talk sweet nothing to you. I got action. Girl, you know I say don't let the green grass fool you.
Yeah.
Bubbling over inside me when I tell you, baby, don't let it change your mind. I sit here all day, just taking time away, thinking about leaving you. Just telling you, baby, that right here, girl, where you belong.
Almost did it right here.
Give it to me, go. Everything is wrong. Change your mind.
Okay, that's Felipe Wayne of the Spinners. Don't let the green grass fool you. My song. You know, we're gonna dive right. I got a lot of beam footage I'm gonna show you because there's just so much about this man. You know, Quincy Jones. But let's first take care of a little business. Yes, the election is over. I hope your candidate won. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, I am a veteran. I serve my country, and that means that I have a new commander-in-chief about ready to take the office on January 6th, and I will stand behind him until he proves unworthy to be, to have my support. But up until then, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say kudos to him and congratulations. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to dive into some beam footage here. With I may have a special guest call in. You know, he worked with Quincy Jones. I don't want to say his name. We'll see what happens. I don't want to put him on Front Street. He don't call or put my cell phone out and just think I'm just dropping names. So it's two works both ways. Okay, but this beam footage I'm going to get into. This is about Quincy Jones's life. I'm showing this because they can give him, you know, more more deep dive about his life than I could, you know. But thanks to them, I'm able to compile it and present it to you and make it part of my show. Now, understand, I make nothing. I make absolutely nothing. In fact, I think I might be blocked eventually and taken off of YouTube for posting the things I do. But in the meantime, this is boom beam footage that I want you to watch. And like I said, I got more I'm going to show you. Okay, so hold on.
Quincy Jones, the songwriter and music producer best known for manning the boards on Michael Jackson's biggest hits, has died. He was 91 years old. Jones, whose work spanned decades and saw him win 28 Grammys, score nominations for 7 Oscars, an Emmy, a Tony, and the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award, will be remembered for the impact he had on so many people's lives through his music and his collaborations with other talented performers. Jones died in his Bel Air home Sunday night with family by his side. Jones will be recognized by the Academy Awards later this month with an honorary Oscar, Associated Press reports. Entertainment Weekly reached out to reps for Jones. Jones worked for decades with other musical icons.
You know, that sucks that they give him a Grammy salute when they die. It happens a lot with a lot of artists that the Academy recognizes their contribution and gives it to them when they die. But be that as it may, it's a good acknowledgement for them. Someone comment on something. Let me see if I can record it. Test my thing. Dre going global. Man, in our past few months, legends are passing away back to back. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, they are. But all we can do, Dre, is say their names, and and never let the memories and the influences that they made in our lives die. And we'll never see the likes of them again. But hold on, let's finish a little beat. I'm glad you're with me, my brother. Where are you at now? Because I know you be making around. And how's your family, my brother?
Icons including Frank Sinatra, Miles Davis, Betty Carter, Dinah Washington, Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, Little Richard, Aretha Franklin, Donny Hathaway, Minnie Riperton, Al Jarreau, Luther Vandross, Chaka Khan, James Ingram, and Tamia, among many others. For Michael Jackson, he produced Thriller, which won 8 Grammys and became a cultural milestone. He also produced 2 more of Jackson's best-selling albums, Off the Wall and Bad. For movie fans, Jones has a firm place in hearts and minds as the composer behind a huge swathe of scores. He was the first Black composer to score a major motion picture via The Pawnbroker in 1964. His scores included In the Heat of the Night, In Cold Blood, Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice, The Out-of-Towners, They Call Me Mr. Tibbs, The Wiz, and The Color Purple. Jones was born in Chicago, but his family moved around and eventually settled in Seattle, where he went to high school and developed a love for jazz. His instrument was the trumpet. He scored a scholarship to Seattle University and then another to Berklee College of Music in Boston, but he left without his degree to tour with legendary bandleader Lionel Hampton in 1952. Jones toured constantly throughout the rest of the 50s, briefly setting up shop in Paris and serving as the music director of French record label Barclay Discs. Jones later returned to America to take a job as the vice president of Mercury Records, though the job was short-lived when Jones' score for the movie The Pawnbroker became a smash. That sent him to Los Angeles, where he focused on composing for the film world. His critically acclaimed credits include the music for In the Heat of the Night, The Italian Job, Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice, and The Getaway. He also remained an in-demand arranger for the likes of Frank Sinatra and Ella Fitzgerald. But Jones is almost certainly best known as a producer. He helmed all of Leslie Gore's biggest hits and later went on an unprecedented run with Michael Jackson. Jones produced Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad, some of the most critically and commercially successful pop albums in the history of the medium. The pair had met while making The Wiz, and their creative partnership proved incredibly fruitful. To this day, the music we created together on Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad is played in every corner of the world, and the reason for that is because he had it all: talent, grace, professionalism, and dedication. Jones said when Jackson passed away in 2009, "He was the consummate entertainer, and his contributions and legacy will be felt upon the world forever." Jones was also an active television and film producer, and Quincy Jones Entertainment produced such TV hits as The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Mad TV. In addition to his professional accomplishments, Jones was also an active agent for social change. He produced We Are the World in support of the victims of famine in Ethiopia and founded a number.
I was kind of disappointed that he didn't say, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but you didn't say the Sanford and Son theme. Oh my God, how can you forget them?
Of programs and organizations to provide outreach to at-risk youth. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2013. Jones was married 3 times and is survived by 7 children, including actress Rashida Jones. Quincy Jones was showing love for his children until the very end. In the legendary producer's final Instagram post on Saturday, which was shared one day before his death, he wished a happy 58th birthday to his daughter Martina. "So proud to be yo papa," he wrote alongside a photo of the two of them together. "Big hug. I love you eternally." The Grammy winner, who produced Michael Jackson's best-selling Thriller and worked with artists like Frank Sinatra, died on Sunday at age 91, his publicist confirmed. The icon of music, who was married 3 times, is survived by 7 children. Jones was first married to actress Jerry Caldwell, with whom he welcomed daughter Jolie Jones-Levine. She has worked as a model, author, and singer, and performed with the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra, according to her website. Last year, Quincy shared a photo on Instagram showing him and Jolie at a piano when she was a child. In 1963, he welcomed Rachel Jones, who is now a veterinarian, with Carol Reynolds. Jones' second wife was model Ola Anderson, with whom he welcomed 2 more children, Martina Jones and Quincy Jones III. The former is a photographer, while the latter is a music producer like his dad.
Welcome. Don't
In
get that
1974, Jones married his 3rd wife, actress Peggy Lipton. They welcomed 2 kids together, Kidada Jones and Rashida Jones. Kidada Jones is a fashion designer, and in an Instagram post in March, Quincy described her as his muse. It's a testament to Jones' enduring legacy across the entertainment spectrum that a wide variety of performers from the world of both music and film are paying tribute. Gloria Estefan, Coleman Domingo, and more honor icon Quincy Jones. A genius has left us. Rashida Jones, meanwhile, is an actress best known for her roles as Karen Filippelli on The Office and in Perkins on Parks and Recreation. Her partner is Vampire Weekend lead vocalist Ezra Koenig, and she co-directed Quincy, a Netflix documentary about her father, in 2018. Speaking on the Smartless podcast earlier this year, The Social Network, Star said she was never interested in pursuing music professionally like her father. "My dad's a musical genius," she said. "That's the last thing I want to do is try my hand in that. But I love it. I have a deep ache for music, and I just don't ever feel like I'm good enough to do it. I'll never be good enough to do it." Jones' youngest child is Kenya Kinsky Jones, a 31-year-old model whom he welcomed in 1993 with actress Nastasia Kinski. In a 2020 Instagram post for her dad's birthday, Kenya described Quincy as her #1 buddy and sunshine of love. "You fill my heart with lifetimes of gratitude," she wrote at the time. "As far back as I can remember, you have always been the voice that has lifted me up. You are hilarious, joyous, wise, fun, and real with an inner child that never fades. Thank you for being an unwavering pillar and example of love. I love you, barely scratches the surface."
And that is
Quincy Jones, the songwriter.
That was Quincy Jones. A little beam footage about him. Like I said, we're gonna have a little more beam footage on him because his daughter Rashida Jones is an actress. She's been on plenty of movies. Oh yeah, okay, yes, yes. They mentioned that. Yeah, I haven't seen her. I probably know if I see her, Dre. But I'm bad with names, you know that. But the name does ring a bell. For some reason or another, I keep thinking about Diana Ross's daughter. She looks like that, but I don't think so. But anyway, let's jump into his music. This first song I'm gonna play. Hold on. Uh, okay. Yup. Let me see. Okay, nope. Okay, it didn't work like that. I thought I'd try. I'll try something new. Okay, I knew Quincy, and one of the first songs that I really start patting my feet to and start listening to Quincy. He was heavily influenced in jazz. But before I do that, let me do the one from The Heat of the Night with him and Ray Charles, because him and Ray Charles been together since they were 14 and 16 years old, Ray being the older, and they played together. You're going to hear it on some of the beam footage. But let's play that one in The Heat of the Night with the two of them, Ray Charles and Quincy Jones. And also, while we're waiting for that to finish buffering, I want to apologize for last week not coming on. And the reason being is because we had a brownout. We knew it was coming, and okay, hold it. Oh, come on. Oh, shit. That was a long one, Jay, and I missed it. Oh, man. Okay. What is up with this? How come it's not coming on? This is where that Murphy's Law thing comes in. What can go wrong will. Living here in the Philippines, sometimes the connection isn't as strong as you want it to be. Okay. So,
in the heat of the night, seems like a cold sweat creeping across my brow. Yeah, in the heat of the night, I'm feeling bubblish somehow. Stars with evil eyes stare from the skies, all mean and bright. Ain't a woman yet before knows how to make the more. It's so hard to keep control when I could sell my soul for just a little light. In the heat of the night,
right on time, baby.
Must be an ending to it all. But hold on, just you be strong, and it'll be all right. In the heat of the
Is that Ray Charles?
night.
Boy, I didn't know Ray Charles could hit it like that. But anyway, I was thinking that, when I was in Los Angeles, I was going to Columbia College of Broadcasting. I wanted to learn how to do TV ENGs, called electric news gathering cameras. So I wanted to learn how to work on a set with the cameras, because I was, that was my dream, my goal, whatever. But then my freelance publicity business shot off, and I had to drop out of school. And I remember one of the classes. It was about how important music is to movies. Like what was it? Max Stein. Max Stein did The Big Sleep, and he did a lot of those black and white movies. Music. Then Max Stein, very, very, very good composer, and how you had to watch, the scene, and at the same time, come up with, what you think would be appropriate music for them. And to show how important music is in the movies. There was a movie called The Quest of Fire. And we watched that, and it was a movie that had no voices at all. There was no language in it at all. It was just music. And it was a movie that was done in the prehistoric time, with cavemen and all that stuff, a bunch of grunt, like that, but no vocals, no language. There was no language, and it was interesting to watch that movie. I think The Quest of Fire. It had the Chariots of Fire. The Chariots of Fire was about some English guys, running or something like that. But Quest for Fire was a very interesting movie to watch, and to watch without vocals, without language. Okay. So anyway, that was Ray Charles and Quincy Jones. They did a number of projects together, but this next one, like I was speaking out before, is how I first kind of discovered Quincy, became part of my conscious with the music that he was producing. And this is it. It's called What Makes You Feel Like Doing Stuff Like That? Now, I'm not going to jump into Quincy Jones' mess, because my mother once told me, if you ain't got nothing nice to say about people, don't say nothing at all. But I did deep dive into that on my show, Gerard Black in the Philippines with the Truth, where I talked about Quincy Jones and some of the things of what he was going through or experiencing, and things what makes you feel like doing stuff like that. But this has the lyrics on it, and if you have an open mind or a deviant mind, then you can kind of see where it's going. Walking in the joint. It was back to back. rhythm of the magic flute. Taste of the fruit. All of a sudden, I didn't care. I don't know. What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? As Tupac would say, make your mind up fast. Nobody knows. Sometimes that's the only reason why we do things, or the only reason why we did things, because it was about, come on, girl, make your mind up fast. Nobody knows, just me and you. What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? Can I do it? I can't tell you what I saw. Made me wonder if it was against the law. What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? I couldn't tell you what I saw, but it made me feel that it was against the law. Make your mind up fast, nobody knows. Listen to that, listen to that, listen to that. Quincy was doing his thing, baby. What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? I don't know. What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? Because you did it. What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? Honey, what makes you feel like doing stuff like that? Honey, stuff like that. What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? What makes you feel like get on the stroll? All right, that was Quincy Jones. What makes you feel like doing stuff like that? Okay, let me see. Should I just let it roll because that's no. I tell you what. Let me put in another one of these beam footage in here because there's a little more information that I want you to have about Quincy Jones. This is good because this is an interview that he did. Well, you'll know who it is once you see it. But this was the time when, and you'll know it. So why don't we just shout it? Okay, here we go.
My next guest, ladies and gentlemen, is a fine musician. He's also a terrific composer and an arranger, and the most successful, this is unbelievable, the most successful record producer of all time. He is also the producer of a brand new motion picture opening December 18th, called Color Purple, The Color Purple. And on top of all of that, this man is the only guest we've ever had on the show named Quincy. Please say hello to Quincy Jones. How you doing?
Okay.
You're doing it all. You do everything.
No, I think this after this 2 year stint, I'm going to rest for about 2 years.
It took you 2 years to do the movie and then other things as well, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
The movie was almost every day for 2 years.
Now, how do you go from being an arranger, a composer, and a record producer to producing your own motion picture? You're not in it, but I mean, you're producing the picture.
Well, it's something I'd always wanted to do inside, David. And about 2 years ago, I guess October '83, Peter Goober, who was a producer out in California, came to me to talk about an Olympic theme for gymnastics. And we said, okay, but then I really got interested when he said, I'd also like you to get involved in a book called The Color Purple, which I had taken on vacation with me. And I couldn't believe it because I fell in love with the book. It was small and I took it with me and read it. And it touched me more than anything I've ever read in my life. And it also helped me to understand from a woman writer's standpoint what that was all about. I mean, Alice is a very truthful writer.
Alice Walker?
Yes, yeah. She's the one who wrote Color Purple.
Now how do you, let me short circuit you here, but how do you go from that step to hiring Steven Spielberg to direct the film and getting the cast and all of that sort of thing?
Well, you have to let everybody call you crazy at first, because I said, Peter, can you let me just take this and see what I can do with it? He said, fine. If I get in trouble, you pull me back. And he said, what are you thinking about directing? I said, Steven Spielberg. He said, sure. And everybody else did. And at the same time, Steven had been thinking about it.
If you go too far, I'll pull you back. Meaning that if your budget is crazy, oh no, we'll let you know.
The movie, and we were friends before, but
he knew about the film.
He knew about the book.
Yeah,
and was
before you talked to him.
circling the field about the same time, and then I just stayed with it, and for 11 months later, I found myself with Stephen and Kathy Kennedy and Frank Marshall, all pros on a rocket, and every stage of the film.
It turned out very nicely. I saw it the other day. It turned out really nice. You must be very proud of it. But now, when you're working with Spielberg, now this is a story of a family and a group of people working in the early 1900s in Georgia.
Right.
Did you have trouble with Spielberg wanting to put Martians in it and stuff?
No.
Some little guy coming down from Jupiter and
no way. This, in the beginning.
I definitely agree with you when you're talking about Pam Grier, my girl. Ooh-wee. She did a lot. She did an absolute lot for the movement of women.
We talked about this, and I said, Stephen, this is all no flying. He knew this is just some black people walking around on the ground. He's an incredible, one of the most incredible director.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was a very impressive piece of work. Now, by the way, I mentioned your name is Quincy. What's your middle name?
No, really.
Do you have a middle name?
Delight.
Quincy Delight.
Right, but it was my father's name too, so it's not a stage name or anything. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. So
I would name myself Delight.
What was your father's first
Quincy
name?
Delight Jones.
Oh, you got the whole name.
Right, and
Quincy
my son got the whole thing too.
You passed on the delight, so to speak.
He got it all.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? We have some footage here. You want to do this? You want to take a look at some of this? You want to talk about records for a while?
No.
Okay, we're gonna see a minute or two from The Color Purple,
I would love to see
which opens December 18th, all over the United States, huh?
Yes.
It's going to be a big movie. You can feel it,
so.
can't you? Yeah. All right, let's take a look at it here and see what we got. Who are the people in there?
That's Danny Glover as the father, and his son is Willard Pugh, and he's auditioning his new fiancée for
Bride to Be.
That's Bride to Be, and that's Oprah Winfrey from Chicago. She was the talk show hostess out there.
Yeah, now that's an interesting story. The other lady that we saw in there is, of course,
Seeley. That's Whoopi Goldberg.
Right. Now explain the woman from Chicago and how she got into the film.
Well, it was in Chicago out there to testify.
Dave didn't know Whoopi Goldberg. Not for no other reason than he's a comedian too. So you should have known Whoopi.
Michael Jackson's lawsuit for plagiarism trial, supposedly. And I stayed up all night, so I was walking around pacing the floor, turned on the TV set at 9:15 in the morning, and I saw this lady and felt to myself, there's Sophia. I didn't even know whether she could act or not. And so we asked to get a videotape and send it to Stephen, and there she is.
This is the luckiest woman on the face of the earth, isn't it?
And talented, too.
Yeah, she does a very nice job in there.
Yeah.
Now, how many record albums did this thing end up selling? Was it...
He virtually discovered Whoopi Goldberg from watching the news, or her being a weather girl on the news. Isn't that something? You never know when opportunity is going to hit you, baby. You just never know, or how.
how many? It's now tied with one other, I think.
Which one?
Thriller.
38.
38
million.
38 million. Good Lord. Now, do you still do that for people? If I came to you and wanted to make a record album, would you produce one for me?
Can you sing?
No, I can't sing that. But now, you and Michael Jackson worked on it together.
Yes.
You wrote songs together.
Yes, Michael wrote one song. Michael wrote 4. And we had various songs in the album.
Now, when you're putting together an album like that, are you ever surprised that a song that goes on the album becomes a hit, or are you ever surprised that it doesn't become a hit?
I'm surprised. I mean this sincerely. Everybody goes into the studio to make the biggest record in the world.
Sure.
And everybody's always surprised when it isn't the biggest record in the world.
I'm surprised when it's not. Yeah.
200 that haven't done that, So you're surprised when there's one that you really have a lot of hopes for, and nothing happens to it. That really shakes your antenna out,
Yeah. Now, when you get down to the final cut, do you ever take a song off and replace it with another one, and then save that song, and then later give it to somebody else, and it does well?
That's happened. On Thriller, we had 4 songs on there, and had all the songs finished. Took 4 off and replaced it with PYT and Beat It and Human Nature.
What became of the 4 you took off?
Some other people recorded.
Yeah, and what happened?
It was okay, but it wasn't.
So you knew what you were doing in that case?
No, we just got lucky.
No. And then tell me about the first band you worked with when you were starting out.
Well, I was 14 years old, and 16-year-old was Ray Charles in Seattle. And
Ray was 16, you were 14.
He was 16, and I was 14. And it was Bumps Blackwell's band, and we used to play for schottisches and everything else, and we'd get together at 3 o'clock in the morning to play what we really like, which is bebop.
And then from then on, you stayed with it right on through, huh?
Right, Lionel Hampton and wrote for Count Basie.
As a kid, you worked here?
My uncle Rashid used to play with Lionel Hampton as a slide trombonist.
New York?
Oh yes, we did the first TV shows with Maury Amsterdam and Merton Burtle in '52.
Yeah.
You don't even remember all that, do you?
No, of course I do. What do you think I am? Of course, no. I'm like I'm 4 or something. No, I remember that stuff. Gee, well, I couldn't be happier for you. That's a great suit, by the way. The movie opens the 18th, and I'm sure it'll be a big success for you. Like you need another success. Congratulations, Quincy. Nice meeting you. We'll be back, folks. That's it.
Okay, that was a little more beam footage. I think I got one more piece of beam footage I want to show you. It's really done a very nice interview. But let's get back into the music. Before I get into this next Quincy Jones song that that was during my generation of my listening to Quincy, let me play this one because this one I'm sure a lot of you know. A lot of elements in this song. Rastafari forever. Well, if you're like me, it's probably the first time you heard the entire theme song from Sanford and Son, which I spoke. I used to go to broadcast called Columbia College of Broadcasting in Los Angeles on La Brea Avenue. It just so happened to be next door to the Fox studio, Red Fox studio. I never got to see him, but it was still historic to me to be going to school right next to the Fox studio. Okay, so I'm gonna go into another song that whereas when I was coming up, this was a song that that we were glued to, and it's called it's called Mellow Madness. Some of you may remember this song, but check it out. About the Philly sound around that era. comment. I was flying high. Okay, that was Mellow Madness by Quincy Jones. Mellow Madness. Woo! God, make you feel good. Okay, let me put this last remaining beam footage in there. The reason I want to put this one in here because this brother interviews him. Does a great job at interviewing Quincy. And my hat goes off to him. And Quincy, well, you'll see. All right, so hold on a second. This is a Quincy interview. Okay. Mellow madness makes you feel good.
Music was the one thing that offered me my freedom.
For 7 decades.
The Toronto International Film Festival wraps up tonight after 10 days of movies and parties. This is an interesting time for TIFF as the industry evolves to make room for projects not exclusively for the big screen. Netflix had several featured films this year. And they also teamed up with a giant of popular culture, Quincy Jones. The Netflix documentary about his life and legacy debuted at the festival, and that gave me a chance to meet the legendary musician, composer, and producer. Our conversation in a moment, but first, a little background. Appropriately called Quincy, the movie chronicles his life and the indelible impact he had on the sound of a generation across all genres.
Music was the one thing that offered me my freedom.
For 7 decades, Jones' fingerprints have been all over so many iconic recordings. From Frank Sinatra to Michael Jackson. And he's credited with making TV stars out of Oprah Winfrey and Will Smith. His influence remains too, inspiring new artists like Lady Gaga
Quincy's here.
and Kendrick Lamar.
Quincy Jones, boy.
And who could forget We Are the World, one of the fastest selling singles of all time. All right. We talked about a lot of that when I sat down with him at TIFF, beginning with growing up so far away from the world of music. I read you grew up in a rough neighborhood and rough circumstances, and I'm
the
sure
30s in Chicago.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of your friends at the time took the wrong path.
Yes, they did, and they're gone.
How did you end up in
Because
music?
I wanted to be a gangster too, you know.
Yeah.
Because kid, you want to be what you see, you know. My father was an architect for the most notorious black gangsters in the history of America, the Jones Boys. And I wanted to be a gangster till I was 11, a serious gangster. Because I saw Tommy guns every day.
Wow.
Dead bodies, stogies, piles of money in back rooms, a Drexel wine and liquor, you know. Unbelievable, man.
So when did it change?
It changed when I moved to Bremerton.
Yeah, darling, say hello. This is your commercial break. Say hello.
Hello.
This is Mia, my lovely, lovely wife. You had fun last night? No 3 days should pass. Here we go.
And we were baby gangsters at 11 years old, and we wanted to take that place over. And we had to, we believe in the experience enough to do it. We ran all the stores, steal everything in there, and we broke into the Army, which was our recreation hall right next to an Army camp in our house. Then individually went to the separate rooms to break in the offices. And I broke in one with a piano, and I left it. And something said, "Idiot, go back in that room." And I went back in the room, went off to the piano and touched it, because I didn't realize human beings played that stuff. I heard it all my life. And it told me right then, this is what you do the rest of your life.
No lessons before you touched that piano?
No, but the next day I went back to Quincy Junior High School and studied sousaphone, tuba, B-flat baritone, E-flat alto, French horn, trombone, to play in the marching band with the majorettes.
I was going to say, because those are tough instruments for a kid to learn.
I know, but man, I love brass, That's why I like to write for bass and brass,
Yeah.
Love it.
So
love it.
I only got 10 minutes with you, so we got to cover some of the big names, right?
Shut up.
No, not at all. No, but I'm just going to make sure I get there. Frank Sinatra, did you still wear the ring that he gave you? Wow.
The rest of my life. One of the greatest guys I've ever met in my life.
I would like to have you meet.
Now, when I had Marshall Thompson, who was the last surviving member of the Chi-Lites and still performs to this day, he also came up with the Frank Sinatra era, where his management also managed the Chi-Lites.
A gentleman who's been doing these marvelous orchestrations for me, Mr. Quincy Jones. Right there. Mr. Quincy Jones.
Not too much shine. Just come out, take him out, get off the stage.
One of the black young stars in the orchestra.
But kudos for Frank for doing that.
And I think some people watching might not know the connection between you and Sinatra. Tell us.
Yeah, it was very, very powerful. One thing to me illustrates it as strongly as anything else, and that's he was married to Mia Farrow about a year and a half. And she went to London, and so did I. She'd just done Rosemary's Baby. I was going to do Italian Job for Michael Caine, the score. And my son was born there. And so Mia notified Frank that I had a son born in London in 68 or 69. And so when I get back to Los Angeles, all this mail from the Academy, on top of it, Sinatra Enterprises. And Sinatra's letter to me said, it wasn't to me, it was to my son, Q3. So I called my son QD3, because I'm junior, my father was senior. And let me welcome you to this world with a college education. And he put a bond in there to pay for my son's entire college education. And said, knowing it'll be a far better world than the one we messed up. He's got that on his wall now. That's a real friend. Because Frank was the most devoted, loving friend you could ask for. He had no grade. He'd roll over you in a Mack truck in reverse, if it were the opposite.
Yeah.
But when he was a real friend, man. Real friend. Real friend. Always.
So let's talk.
It reminds me when my sister-in-law had gotten pregnant and she was about ready to deliver. I sent him a check for $100 for coming into this world. I said, let this be your first $100 over your first bank account for coming into this world. And so, I can understand wanting to do something as monumental to that for somebody who you genuinely love, period.
Well, Michael Jackson. I mean, all of us have Thriller. Many of us have Off the Wall.
It's an amazing experience, man. But Michael was a very, very special talent. I mean, really special in every way. In observation, influences, and dancing, and singing, and everything. He didn't miss a thing, I remember on The Wiz, when I first met him, he knew everybody's lines, he knew their songs, he knew their dance steps, everything.
So Thriller had 7 top 10 singles, right? It dominated the charts in a way that no album ever had before.
110 albums, million albums.
When you were in the studio doing it, were there any moments where you thought to yourself, did you have any idea what impact that album was going to have?
I don't think of it like that. I think about what touches me. You know, I've never in my life ever done music for money or fame. Never, and never will. Because God walks out of the room then. And it's not sacred anymore. And it is sacred, you know. Because to me, melody is God's voice. It's clothed by lyrics, but melody is God's voice. That's the power.
But I always wondered, so when you did the playback for Billie Jean, or for any of the songs on there, was there...
This is my son, Raphael. Say hello, Raphael.
Hello.
You just waking up?
Yeah.
You sleep good?
Yeah.
You dream?
No.
Okay, maybe tonight. Okay, have a good day, Raphael.
A moment where you said to yourself, we've done something different, special.
No, but that was the whole plan in the beginning, man. You go through 800 songs to get 9, that's not casual, you know. And that's what you're aiming for. My least favorite numbers are 2, 6, and 11. You've been talking about I got a top 6 record, and if you're number 2, you want to be number 1, right? So
we know a lot about Michael Jackson, and you were just talking about him. What on those albums, Thriller, for example, is you? You know, you have his music, some of his writing.
No, man, but look, we take his stuff and take it to another level. Don't stop till you get enough. It's very well known that Michael sent me a note. Could you please take off the violins in the introduction? No, it's messed up my groove. You know what that line was? Diddle, 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 diddle. The identifying line on the goddamn song.
So he said, take it off?
Yeah.
And you said?
No way. I said, you don't tell me what to do. No.
Mm-mm. Who was right?
Well, what ended up on the record? That's one of the strongest parts in the introduction.
That's cold-blooded. Quincy Jones in the house, cold-blooded. Oh, just as a footnote, you hear that ching, 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 the beats, ding, 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 ding. It sounds like they're playing on a bottle. Well, it is, and that's Sheila E. Sheila E, who's playing the bottles on that, who used to play for Prince. Sheila E. Yeah.
We've been right.
Yeah.
Been right about that. This was a Motown arranger.
There's Sheila E on the bottles, on the drums.
Let's talk about We Are the World, one of the best-selling records of all time. There have been lots of other groups that have done similar songs, including here in Canada. First of all, that line, park your ego at the door, that you put up in a sign, who came up with that?
I did, but it wasn't necessary. They came in for the right reasons. They really did. They came there to give back. And that's, you know, it wasn't necessary.
We are a part of God's great big family. And the truth, you know, love is all we need.
Was there a lot of politics trying to figure out who would do which vocals and how to balance
and also placement, all kind of stuff, yeah.
And I had to,
well, I had to take care of telling 46 people only 21 could sing solos.
Yeah.
That was not popular at all. I mean, they were freaking out, man.
Who did you have to say no to?
Well, I don't want to get into that. But you can imagine that. Diana Ross and her limousine and bodyguards, and Springsteen comes in a pickup truck, you know. They didn't need to hear particularly goes to the door. They came for the right reason because they saw each other and they got it. No, they really did.
Our time's up, so one last thing. What's next for you?
10 movies, 6 albums, 4 Broadway shows,
No.
2 networks. We're in business with Donatella Versace with Q's Jazz Lounge and Juice Juke Joint in 25 hotels, $700 million hotels around the world. It's just unbelievable what's happening. I got a huge company in Dubai, Abu Dhabi.
So you're retired?
That is your father. No, I'm never retired. I've never been so busy in my life, man. I'm 85, you know.
You are an impressive man. Really nice meeting you.
You too, brother.
Thanks.
You're a movie star, man.
Look out, Quincy, look out.
Have you done movies?
No.
You should, man.
Anyway, that is fantastic. I really appreciate it, and I've been a huge fan of a lot of your work, so that's very cool.
Thank you,
All
bro.
right.
I want to see you around.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful cat.
That's what we always say about you after every meeting. What a beautiful cat.
Not my idea, by the way, to lead that in. Sean, the producer, did such a fantastic job. Put that in, just for the record. I want to play a little bit of music that we heard right at the beginning of the interview. Let's just listen to this for a couple of seconds. Okay, and Rosemary, when you and I were talking earlier this evening, you surprised me, given your relative youth, that you remember that from a TV show.
From a game show, right?
Yes. A Definition, which was shot here in Toronto. It was also part of the Austin Powers movie. Why are we playing it? It's because, I didn't know this until tonight, Soul Bossa Nova, written by Quincy Jones in the early 60s. I'll tell you, you look at this guy's resume, and it is astounding.
He's behind everything.
Okay. Thanks for watching. And Quincy, I want you to take your place in that big group shot in the sky at Thug Mansion, waiting for me to get there to take, and let them all know that I'll be there soon, and I will always love them more. Of course, there's one of the songs I'm gonna play for you on the way out, and keep in mind, I've never watched this show. I've never seen one full episode of this show, and I might be the only black man who has it. But be that as it may, you know, he said that this is what it's because of this song that Will Smith. Okay, where are you now? If I was a rich man. Here it is. But this is for you young bucks. I never seen the show.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." I begged and pleaded with her day after day, but she packed my suitcase and sent me on my way. She gave me a kiss and then she gave me my ticket. I put my Walkman on and said I might as well kick it. First class, yo, this is bad. Drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass. Is this what the people of Bel Air live like? This might be alright. I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the license plate said freshen it and dice in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cab was rare, but I thought, man, forget it. Yo, home to Bel Air.
Quincy Jones.
I pulled up to the house about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the cabbie, "Yo, home, smell you later." Looked at my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne at the Prince of Bel Air.
And that is it for me. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elder, always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. Hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ollie Woodson, former lead singer of the Temptation One song, that's Otis Williams right there, the last surviving member of the Temptations and founder. treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make her feel like a king and never say no. I'll talk to you later. Who's that? Good night. Good night, Bob. I know you're taking them Japanese videos with you. I'll always love you more. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Now, let me see. Oh, there it is. Oh!